That's a little hard to find in college football right now, where you go from one season to the next, and you have now the big part of that is they can't be the same guys they were. They have to improve and take steps. Which watching them in January and February, man, they've worked extremely hard to up their game individually and to try to bring a lot to the team. And so, what they can bring at the tight end position, plus in the special teams game is really big if they take the right approach, which so far they have.
How much does having Randy Pittman, a guy who's already been in that system, help in him teaching the other guys in the room and maybe even teaching you a little bit about
it helps a lot. Like in January, we were on the road recruiting, so I wasn't around the guys that much. And so, his familiarity with the system, with Coach Malzahn's terminology, what Coach Malzahn wants, that's a big asset to everybody, and so that's been really helpful. More than anything, just a guy with the comfort level that he has. I mean, it's just second nature to him after being in it for 2 years, so that helps a lot. That's been a big asset, and I expect it to continue to be as we go into spring ball.
Just a unique thing with your room specifically is that the two transfers that you brought in, you're super familiar with. Obviously,
right.
with Marquise being a former player here, and then Randy being committed to you during the recruiting process. Knowing that you have that familiarity with them, is that easier to kind of say yes to bringing them in, and just what kind of does that provide an advantage to you?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Like I see the transfer game like. If you watch the NFL right now, free agents, a lot of those guys are signing with teams that have coaches that they played with, right? And you're probably going to see more of that as college football evolves. And we got a couple of guys on offense that have that level of comfort level with Coach Malzahn's system. So that I think that'll play more to college football. It definitely helps us. Marquise, just knowing his strengths and he's been in college football now. We've been here. We joke like he and I've been here together for 5 years. Like we've been in college. He's been in the game for going on 6 years now. So there's just so much about that helps when you get in. I mean, the first game of the season, there'll be an anxiety for everybody, both teams. But a guy like Marquise, when you look at him in the game, he's just kind of the same guy if he was standing here with us as he is out there in the game. He doesn't panic, doesn't freak out. And so that's always, to have that kind of player and know you're walking into those kind of environments. And then Randy with his experience, Landon and Amari. I mean, they're kind of over now that initial college football shock, and now they can really just work on being the best they can be. So it's a great comfort level for the coach, but we can't rest on that. We got to go push and take the next step, all of us.
Mari Williams obviously going to be working on both sides of the ball this spring. What's going to be the plan for him as he splits time between offense and defense?
He'll go like January and February. He's been really learning both because it is a new offensive system. But he'll focus a little more defensively starting out just because he's got less experience in that area. He came in last summer in June and was able to absorb most of the offense and start to learn it. So letting him kind of focus on defense, we know whatever role he takes on offense, he can really pick that up quickly. He's a smart guy. So we'll let him kind of focus on defense because it's new to him, and let him kind of get comfortable and see what kind of plays he can make. And then hopefully towards the back end of spring start to get him involved in some offensive concepts and then just kind of see where it goes, see what kind of impact, if we feel like he can impact both sides of the ball like he wants to do, then that's what we keep doing. But that'll be something that'll evolve spring ball.
Okay. What's the key for a guy like Landon Thomas to continue progressing in the right direction ahead of his second season?
Yeah, this past couple of months has been the key. He's gotten a lot stronger. He's 240 pounds right now. He played in the low 230s, 230 to 235 last year was kind of where he fluctuated. He's a solid 240 right now, and we'll go through spring. He'll be a more physical player. He'll have more confidence in what he's doing. I think that's been the biggest step, is just because with his injury in the summer, collarbone injury, he can't do anything. So he was unable to really help himself develop physically. So getting this winter and then another summer, it's going to make a huge difference in his game.
I wanted to ask about Chase Lofton, getting here early after signing in December. Seems like he's got pretty good size at 6'6" and good receiving skills as well. So
Yeah.
is there a path for him to carve out playing time in year one?
Yeah, absolutely. He put on 13 pounds since he got here. Really worked hard, both at the diet aspect and the lifting aspect to try to gain the weight. And what he's shown to this point has put him in a position going into spring ball where he's got a chance to be a factor because he's worked really hard. He's shown really good movements in the workouts, really explosive and really good change of direction in the off-season stuff. And so he will, spring ball is a whole different deal because you got people bumping you and banging you and trying to get you off your route path or whatever you're trying to do. But he's put himself in a good spot to be able to have a chance to contribute. He's a lot like Landon was last year. You're just trying to put yourself in a position because in reality, some freshmen when they first come in, you realize pretty quickly the guy's not ready. He needs a year or whatever, and that's most freshmen. But with Landon last year, we saw enough in spring to say he's going to be able to contribute on some level. And that's what, Chase has done that throughout the offseason program. Now he's got to go show that on the grass that hey, I'm a guy that can go in a game and help the team win. So we'll see how that plays out, but I'm excited about what I've seen so far.
It seems like you've really got 4 or 5 guys that could get in the rotation this year. A lot of experience, a lot of talent, diversity.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this could end up being the deepest tight end room that you've had at Florida State?
Yeah, if they continue to work and progress, it definitely could be because you have a lot of experience in there. And I think the thing I'm excited about is there's 2 reasons why having some depth in that room is really important. Is number one, Coach Malzahn is going to run more plays than we ran last year. We're going to be a tempo team, so there's more plays, more opportunities for guys. So you're going to need to be able to roll guys and keep them fresh because when you're playing fast, guys are going to get tired a little bit. And so having more guys helps in that way, but then special teams, those guys need to make a huge impact on special teams. And so they can add more reps to their game by being big special teams contributors. And, we always want to do that. So it's got a chance. I don't really like to ever say until I see them on the grass, but with most of them, you've seen a lot of what they can do in college football. They just have to build on that and get better than what they were.
And I know you talked about Marquise and some. It really seems like he's reshaped his body a little bit, and he's in maybe the best shape that he's been in his college career going into the spring. Yeah. How big have those developments been for him off the field to get in that kind of shape?
Really big. I think the last year in 2023, he was about 282 he was in the low 280 range most of the season, and he's about 270 right now, which that's about where he needs to be, and he's worked hard to really trim up. I think that'll show in his movements with that 12 pounds or so that's less will help him in his movements, but he'll still have the size to be a dominant blocker. And so, he's worked really hard. His attitude's been great. He's provided good leadership, and excited about getting him out for spring ball. One thing about Marquise, don't want to jinx him, but he's never missed a practice. I've coached him 4 years. Not sure about at Arizona State how that was, but I know he's always available. He always works, so he improves and gets better. And that's something that not every guy is able to do. So excited about his last year with us.
And I think last thing, obviously there have been some big changes made to the coaching staff over the last couple of months, and that didn't really happen over the first 5 years that you guys were here in Tallahassee. What's it been like just forming a relationship, building chemistry as a coaching staff with so many new guys?
Yeah, I think that's always evolving too, just like it is with players, and it all revolves around trust, and in reality, trust just takes time. Coach Malzahn's he's done an unbelievable job in coming in and laying the foundation for the offense, with the players, with the coaches, this is the foundation of who we are. And you can tell he's done that for a long time just because he's so efficient in his process of it's been modified over years to where it is now. It's probably the best process it's ever been at this point, just because he's done it for a long period of time and had success. And so, his ability to see us now go out on the practice field, because some of us are new to his system, we got to earn his trust. We got to earn that this coach can go out and teach these guys the things that I want them to learn that'll make the offense go well. So that's always evolving, and but it's been great so far. He's not only is he great offensively, but in recruiting, it's every day. Like it's he's always where do we stand with this guy? Get me on the phone with this guy. And so it's been really good on both the football part and the recruiting part. Now we just got to go get out on the grass and start working out the things that need to be worked out.